episode of Madge Unmuted. I'm your host, Madge. And with me, as always, is my lovely and talented producer, Scott Fitzgerald. Fitz.
And I'm in the cool room.
He is.
Instead of back with the help.
We let him come out. Yes. I told him that he didn't even have to take the servant stairs today.
Oh, gee. the servant stairs.
Hey, all the old houses had those?
Not my old house.
Well, okay. Well, a lot of them here that were built
on East Ave.
Yes.
The ones that are now multiple family dwellings.
Yes.
So there's some person that's living in what would have been the servants' quarters. Now that's their home.
Now you've made me really feel like shit. So yeah, that's
Why?
it.
Because you didn't have a house with servants' quarters.
Actually, we did.
Oh, you did? You're from the upper crust of Western New York?
No.
Just the crust.
It was upper, and then it didn't make it to my crust. It was a couple generations ago. Anyway, here I am with Scott Fitzgerald in the beautiful Rock Fox Studios.
Thank you.
For all your rockin' and voxin' needs.
Yes.
Recording. Look, it's an air raid again. We have a siren.
Yeah, but they can't hear it.
I know. That's why I'm...
And with these new inserts in the windows, we could barely hear it too.
Oh, I didn't...
It was much louder before those inserts were put in.
Oh, well.
See, I'm constantly investing in this studio to better to improve your podcasting experience.
For the betterment of podcasts everywhere.
Right. That's right.
Well, it's just me and Fitzy today because I had a guest blow me off. No, I meant I didn't work out. He didn't. My guests all fell through today. So, but
guess that parole didn't come through or something, right?
Her ankle monitor didn't reach all the way down to Pittsford.
Nice.
So, that's terrible. No, not any reflection on anybody. Yeah, let me tell you what. Two things I have to mention today, or just one. I don't know, whatever I feel like mentioning, because you know what? It's my show.
That's right.
Today we are recording on Tuesday, November 10th. And I was asked multiple times, I can't roll my eyes any harder at the moment, but I've been asked to mention multiple times that today is the 245th birthday of the Marine Corps.
Oh.
So,
and you know what?
Semper Fi and Oorah and all that shit for my man friend.
I've been listening to an audiobook called Voices of the Pacific, and it's about all the Marines that were in the Pacific, like Peleliu and Pavuvu and all those.
Wow.
Okinawa and everything. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Wait, is it just the Marines? Well,
yeah, it's told from the perspective of the Marines who were in there.
Okay, the reason why I ask, but also, tomorrow, Wednesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. So thank you to all who served, and thank you for your service, and all that. We are forever in your debt. My father was a World War II veteran. God rest his soul. And interesting thing is that he started in Europe. Mm-hmm. And then that was all ending. And then he graduated high school like 1941, and then he started college, and then the war broke out, and then he went to war.
Did he leave college to go into the war, or was he drafted?
He left. Actually, this is the story that I've heard, that my father got rejected the first time he went for his physical because he's always been, I guess, legally blind in his right eye. He was. And I heard that he memorized the eye chart.
A lot of people did that.
He memorized the eye chart, and he got in, and he was in France. So because of his eye...
He was in the Army?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of his eye, he drove... I know, this doesn't... He drove a chemical truck, which I don't know if that's any better without eyes, but no.
Oh, you're blind? Here.
Here, drive a...
Handle these explosives or something.
So, I know he's laughing up there. He told me a story about how they blew up a small French countryside. It wasn't really his
croissants
fault.
everywhere.
Yes, exactly, and baguettes.
What'd you call me?
So anyway, then that ended over there, and then they started sending them to the Pacific.
Oh man, so he started in Europe and then went to the Pacific?
Yeah.
Oh man. That's terrible.
However, as he's on a, slow boat to the Pacific, the war ended over there. So they got there, because they're on a whatever, big old, not a freighter. What's the word?
Troop transport?
Troops, yeah. And I don't know, it took them several months to get there, and the war was over, and they get there, and they're like, oh, the war is over, but we got to send all these other guys back first.
So you just hang out here.
Hang out. Yeah, he had to wait 6 months.
Holy crap. That's not just hanging around. That's like temporary residence.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but at least it wasn't.
He was in the Philippines. Yes. Okay. Which, from the stories my man friend tells me about when he was in the Marines in the Philippines. I pray to God I don't want to picture my dad doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so just kidding, Dad. So anyway, he had to wait there for like 6 months. But you know what? If you remember the musical South Pacific, was basically kind of like that.
Yeah.
Them waiting.
Lots of singing and dancing, breaking into song.
I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair. That was the chick singing. That
I
wasn't
thought
any
it's
guys.
that gray. Oh, that's the commercial.
Yeah. And then they told two friends, not the same product, but anyway.
Shh, it's an ancient Chinese secret.
Huh? My husband, some hot shot. See, we could do this all afternoon.
All afternoon.
I could just go back and forth with you. But I won't. So anyway, that's my dad's story. And
it's a really cool story. And as I've been listening to this audiobook and listening to, when I listen to their first person accounts, I think about me and what I would do if I were in that situation. There's a lot of people, just like your dad, where they were rejected at first, and there was no way they were going to be rejected. People wanted to fight. Yeah. They wanted to go because their friends were there, and if they stayed home, they were cowards.
Yeah.
And they weren't contributing.
Exactly.
And they had to contribute. So there were guys that fudged their birth certificates. So they were like 15 years old and they went over there saying they were 17.
Absolutely.
It's amazing and you think about the difference between people that were signing up and going to World War II and the people that were going into Vietnam when they were getting drafted. They didn't want to go. A lot of them didn't want to go.
And here's an interesting thing, I thought. My brother, my older brother, he had a draft number. I guess I'm 55, so he's 66 now. So he had and my dad was like really, I'm not fearful. My dad was really worried about his number getting called because he had been there. He had seen it. He had friends die. He was seeing the stuff on the news every night. He didn't want him to go. But luckily, they stopped the draft. My brother's number didn't get called. Thank God, Mike. But I wonder, though, because by then, boy, we're getting heavy here, but it's okay.
It's the Veterans Day special.
Yes, it is. And thanks, boys. So I don't know how to do that. Just trying to lighten the mood.
And you're just waving your bazookas around.
I brought out the big guns today, fellas.
You ever heard of Fat Man and Little Boy?
What?
The bombs that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah. Oh, my.
I wasn't talking about your breastises.
I know. Thank you. But I do know that Enola Gay was not just a song by OMD. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Sorry for my language.
You talking about then they stopped.
Because the Vietnam War was brought into our living rooms.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or at the kitchen table, whatever, every night by the nightly news, which had never been done before.
Yeah.
I mean, people would you would go to the movie theater and see newsreels, but that it was not showing the carnage.
Yeah.
It was just like,
our boys are now wiping up. See you later, Germans. Hitler's on the run.
Exactly.
There's one lucky sailor, and he's kissing a girl.
Exactly.
Time for a smoke. Even the doctors smoke them. It cools the throat.
Exactly. Oh, that was the other. My father. I love my dad. Let's see, it's 20. He would be 97 years old today.
Bless.
So, and so thanks for the stories, Dad. But it was just like sometimes, he was a typical Irishman that would just love to tell stories, and but sometimes it's like he would forget that he had kids that ranged from 30 still down to like 14. And he'd start telling my brothers or whoever stories about, like, well, when we were about to go in town to see the ladies and, showing them movies about hygiene and, VD, as they used to call it then. And I'm like, oh, my God.
The clap.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, and we learned a few French phrases like voulez-vous, like, will you go, no, voulez-vous avec promenade or something, whatever. Like, will you go for a walk with me? I'm like, Dad.
I thought that was asking in the square dance. How do you say, will you promenade in do-si-do with me in French? In French.
Do you put it right?
Uncle Sam sure has something to say about this guy. Those were the best voiceover, the best narrators.
Yeah. I heard there's a story about where that accent came from. There's a whole book on that. It was that mid-Atlantic accent that was still kind of left over from like the British or some weird shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother to try and explain it because it's
you just lost half the audience.
Yeah, I know.
So now we're down to 2.
Hey, actually we are. Hey guys, you want to ask me a question? Type it below.
So they're not getting the whole story. They're just getting you. They can't even probably barely hear me.
Oh, right. Sorry. Look who it is, everybody.
Hi.
Look, I could show them the monitor. I'm really fucking this up today, aren't I?
Now your viewers are like, stop shaking the camera. Ralph.
You know what? That stopped the noise. Oh my God, I just looking at my arms in this. I'm being very self-conscious.
Sorry.
The light, it creates like a greenhouse effect now.
Is it warm?
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm used to hot flashes, so we'll just do. For those of you listening to the audio, I'm flipping a Post-it notepad. Actually, that feels really good. Okay, so we're talking about So then we saw the shit about Vietnam on the nightly news, and we were like, ooh, that doesn't look so romantic like it did in, on the newsreels in World War II. So no thanks, we're good.
It ended when I was born. I think it ended in 73.
Oh, that's right. You're
and I was born
younger.
in 73.
Well,
or 74 or something like that.
Yeah, I never know, because there were certain things. It was like when they signed this thing and that thing, and then when actually everybody came home. So yeah. I forgive me, any veterans. I can't remember what the exact dates are of the Vietnam War. And there we go. Right. There, I know. We're dropping our own bombs.
And that's how you screw up a podcast.
And if you're just tuning in, I don't have a guest today. So, because I'm a loser.
She pulled me up from the back room.
I did.
Sit here, Fitz. You'll talk today.
God damn it, and you'll like it. Look, nobody is asking any questions on Facebook Live, because you know why? Nobody gives a shit today.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
I'd say they're just not.
I've thrown them off. You know what? I have to say, I've been trying to stay away from like politics and any sort of heavy shit, even though we just talked about, war and pestilence and all that shit.
Pestilence.
What is pestilence?
I think it's disease.
Oh,
I think it's widespread disease.
That makes sense. So yeah, no pestilence here. Well, that would be COVID. Would be the pestilence.
Right.
Oh. We got the pestilence. Got the pestilence covered. But you know what? No matter what your politics are, I'm a woman, so I could say this. I'm really proud that we have a woman vice president elect. You know what? You do your contesting litigation shit. Yeah, I suppose it's your right, but whatever.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. But this we have her now. So look out! Here we come. I'm just so glad. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had men telling us what to do for fucking thousands of years. So now we got a broad
and
one of us in there.
Joe's 80, so
yeah,
we might have a female
he's
president.
77.
I thought he was 80.
No, he's 77.
Oh, he's 77?
Which I always thought was kind of laughable that, you know, Trump or some people that were not for Biden would say, oh, old man. It's like, he's 3 freaking years older than Trump.
Yeah.
So come up with something better than that. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that.
That's cool, though. A woman in the
It is.
second highest office in the land.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. There goes that glass ceiling.
First woman of color, first Asian
Yep.
American woman.
Yep.
She's
American woman.
was it her father's Jamaican and her mother's Indian, correct?
Yes.
Isn't that what?
Yes. Yes. We just cut away some really bad parts. So if you want to see the blooper reel, you can pay for it on Patreon.
Yeah, that's right.
Become a member on Patreon.
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 Do you have Patreon?
I do have Patreon. MadgeMadigan.com. You'll get all sorts of
Conclusive information?
Yeah, exclusive, inclusive shit if you become a member. I sound like PBS now. Get a tote bag. And this.
I would totally enjoy a Madge Unmuted tote bag.
Oh, okay. How about an 18 VHS set of Ken Burns' Madge in America? It's his latest documentary. It's really light on content.
78 hours of you.
Yeah.
Like watching TV.
I got laying on the couch. I got my smart food popcorn. And then
I can, so what I just got, one of those cricket machines. You know what a cricket is? CRICUT.
Cricket phone?
No. It's CRICUT. It looks like it's cricket, but it's cricket.
Oh.
It's this machine that you can take graphics and put them on fabrics.
Oh.
So we could actually make a Madge Unmuted mask if you wanted to.
Yeah, that would be fun. Who wants one? Hands up.
I'm gonna have a Rockvox one. Maybe I'll have Rockvox on one side and Madge Unmuted on the other side.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Would be a lot of fun. So, I just want to tell you back to the Kamala Harris that if we didn't cut that out, that I'm really glad that because I'm really have been tired of dudes telling women what to do for thousands of years. So, yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so what else do you got going on there? You got any new podcast people on here that I should have on?
Well,
they should have me.
Yes, we're going to do some cross promoting with the Curiously George podcast.
Cross pollinating.
Yeah, cross.
I'm not into that.
Give me your Harry Stamen now, baby.
Okay. Shh, let's talk about that later. Depends how much. Depends how much you're going to give me for it.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so the
Holy
Curiously
Mary,
George
Mother
podcast, George Pulius and Todd Youngman will be at some point coming on the Madge Unmuted podcast, and then you'll be a guest on their podcast, and all will be right in the world.
I would like that. I would enjoy that. Because that's what we need to do. We need to, promote each other.
Yep.
And help each other. There's not a lot of that going on in the world lately. Hopefully that's changing, but I would like more people to help each other.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's just what Madge is saying right now.
We're going to be doing a virtual Santa Claus here. We're going to have a Santa down the hall.
What? What? Doing what?
Oh. Working on his hose. I don't know.
Guess I should be here then.
We're gonna have a Santa Claus in the other studio, and kids are gonna be able to do a Zoom call with Santa.
Oh, that's cute.
And ask him.
Oh,
Buy me a football, or
yeah.
what do kids get? A little wooden duck, right?
Yeah.
That's what kids, right?
Yeah,
it's all
they
wooden
totally
stuff.
want. Yeah, they just want blocks.
So like a little wooden horse that on wheels.
Yeah, that's
Remember
all
kids
they
watching those old cartoons and the old what was it, the Santa Claus movies and stuff? The what are they called? Jeez, the animated
special?
ones. You know,
the stop life like Rudolph.
Yeah, and I can't
Claus is
remember the
coming to
name
town.
of the type of.
Stop. It's like stop motion.
No, I mean there's a.
Oh yes, you're right.
There's a person or there's a group that always did them, and I can't remember what they're called because I have to say it in a podcast. If I was, thank you, Rankin Bass. Thank you very much.
Madge always
knock
with
that
the,
one on.
Madge always.
But
with
whenever
the
they showed Santa Claus
trivia.
and the elves making stuff, they were always making these like toys from 1705. You know?
You're right. The little horse on wheels.
Yeah, little horse on wheels, or a little rocking chair that the little girl's all excited about the rocking chair.
And Hermie was pounding on the.
What couldn't he make? He wasn't able to make something. The one, and they sent him to the Island of Misfit Toys or something. I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the issue I have.
Oh,
with
he
the
wanted to be a
island.
dentist.
Yes, he did. And here's the issue I have, since you mentioned. So they're showing the toys that they were building in the workshop. Mm-hmm. And then they showed the toys on the Island of Misfit Toys. Now, how do you get like a Jack-in-the-Box that's so alive and animated and something when they're building like the freaking wooden horse on wheels?
I don't know. Maybe they
Maybe this magic Santa does?
Yeah, exactly. Santa spilled some of his magic dust on it. Ho, 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 shit.
So he spilled some of the magic dust, and Hermie got some of it, breathed it in, and so those weren't really toys; they were hallucinations.
Yes, it was all.
It was all a dream. It was like the end of the Bob Newhart show, the one in the 80s. That's all Rudolph was, kids. It was just Hermie's trip. Hermie's bad crack trip. Sorry, kids.
Can you put some LSD in my stocking, please, Santa?
Yeah, really. Well, with COVID, we can't really travel much, so let's just travel that way.
That's the kind of trip you're going to get.
Sorry,
now.
kids, just kidding. Don't do drugs.
Man, this COVID.
You know what?
What are we, a yellow zone now here in Monroe County in New York?
Oh, my God. That's
Again?
what I thought. I just read. I've just had enough. And I don't I know it's bad, and I know it's a real thing, and I know we should be taking measures, and I'm going to, but I'm really fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I can take.
You'll take as much as,
You'll take it and
you'll like it. But I think because you're the kind of person who still is generally thoughtful of others, and respectful of others, that even though it'll become a real pain in the ass, you'll still do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Unlike other people who are so selfish, who decide that they've had enough, and by golly,
yeah,
that's it. I'm not wearing a mask anymore. I'm going to Wegmans and I'm not wearing a mask. And then they do it with full of pride. That's right. Look at all you sheeple without your masks on.
Don't get me started. You know what? Sure, you do what you want to do, but I just think it's selfish. Yeah.
Totally.
Is it going to kill you? Well, the COVID might kill you. Wearing a mask won't. It's not about you. And in America, you know what? Sorry. America was still founded on principles of we the people and like our fellow man, even though women and black people weren't considered in that we the people. But I digress. You know, so
No, it's me, the people.
Me and the other white dudes, the people. You know, just sometimes you do stuff for the greater good. It's not all about you. Me. I don't want to do this. I don't have to. I don't know. Me.
Damn it. I want to go out and have a nice crappy beer or a crappy sports bar.
Exactly.
I should be allowed to do that.
Well, so do I.
Jenny Cream Ale.
Yeah. Everybody needs their Jenny Screamers. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do. I did actually have some Patreon. I have some sponsors.
Oh, you do?
I do. I have to say, well, this program was brought to you by Rockfox Studios. That's one sponsor. Look it up, kids, for all your recording needs. And then it was also brought to you by the Stick and Rudder Pub in Fairhaven, New York. Great craft beer and cocktails and great food.
Where is Fairhaven?
Fairhaven is between Sodus and Oswego. So if you're in Rochester, you keep going east on 104, and then you'll get there. And it's like 45 minutes or whatever, like north of Syracuse. So
Sounds nice.
Yes, it's a lovely resort town-ish, but there's a lot of people now living there full-time. And it's a lot of fun. I love the people there. Shout out, love you, Fairhaven, New York. I call it the Key West of the North. Because it's kind of a hideaway where there's lots of all kinds of different people there. You know, people often go to stereotype like, oh, it's in the middle of nowhere, it's rural. I found like some of
Those are the best places.
Yeah, some of the most interesting freaking people in the world in Fairhaven. Great conversation, you know, lots of, you know, some intellectual shit going on there. A lot of quirky people, but I love quirky because I'm quirky.
You fit right in.
I do. I'm the queen of quirk. Not to be confused with the queen of kink. That was a few years ago.
She was young. She needed the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like big crowds? You're not a big crowd
Not
kind of
anymore.
Person.
No, I used to. Yeah,
Back in a concert day, going to concerts and stuff.
Yeah, now I can't stand it. I go in someplace, I'm like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
What about you?
No.
Yeah.
When I was in my 20s, I did my stretch of going to the outdoor concerts and like Lollapalooza and all those being in the mosh pit and
yeah.
You know, and then everybody and then a bunch of people got trampled and it was like, all right, I don't want to be that person.
Right. And I think actually I've never totally been a big crowd person because I am so short, and it feels really claustrophobic. I'm 5'2", and you know, even back then, like 40 pounds ago, I was like this little pixie going through the thing, and it was really it was a little scary. So yeah, I don't and even now, my favorite thing. See, what I'm so tired of with COVID is that I'm a hugger. I'm a people person. I'm a lovey, huggy. Hey, but the good thing about it is that I do prefer smaller crowds now because not because I hate people, but it's because you can sit and laugh.
Yeah.
I love people,
especially with ketchup.
With fava beans and a nice Chianti. That's the creepiest thing. That's like the creepiest thing ever. I can't believe you made that noise. I hate that noise. But anyway, I enjoy people and laughing. I love to laugh. Like I just, and I love to sit around, have a cocktail or don't have a cocktail and laugh with people. And I love that, but like, when you're in a place like, you go to the Stick and Rudder, we do everything by the book. We social distance and wear our masks and whatever, but you can only have so many people. So like if you see a couple of you see 4 of your friends at a table and you want to be like, hey, and go over and visit them. Remember, 8-9 months ago, whatever, you could go and stand there and hi and not take off. Now you got to stand there. Well, even working there, we got to try and talk to people with a mask on, and it makes me sad. But I'm still doing it, and we're still doing it. So, but
it's not gonna last forever.
What?
It's not gonna last forever.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you scared me because I thought you just said it's going to last forever.
Oh yeah. Just so you know.
What?
Forever. No, it's not going to last forever. Eventually, things will get better. When that is, I don't know. But they do have. There was good news the other day about the vaccine.
Oh yes.
The Pfizer said that their vaccine is 90% effective. So.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a whole other ball of wax that I watched on 60 Minutes this past weekend. I don't know if you saw that.
Nope.
They were interviewing the gentleman who was an Army general, who he was like, I don't know, a month or something away from retiring. And they're like, or he had just retired. I don't know. They're like, we want you to run this, what's it called? Operation Warp Speed. And because.
Sure, it was 60 Minutes you were watching?
Yep.
Okay. Wasn't Star Trek?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
I watched that. I would watch Operation Warp Speed when I was drunk in college. But anyway, where that came from. But like, who is better at logistics than the military? Because that's all they do is like try and shuffle a lot of people in a lot of places. So they were talking about the logistics of once there is a vaccine, how it's going to get dispersed. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot goes into
shit
it.
You don't think about. Like, wow, like, and it needs to be like stored at like minus 80 degrees.
Yeah.
And which places do have that storage that can do that, and those that don't, like, the U.S. Virgin Islands doesn't have that. So they got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And, because you got to make it and enough. It's just like crazy. But I, again, in with the Veterans Day, hats off to our United States military. So just going with hearing about the Pfizer thing, and then I guess also Eli Lilly or whatever. So buy stocks now.
My Pfizer stock is we bought Pfizer stock in May.
Oh, you know what
not a whole lot, but
I know I'm still unemployed, so send money. Go to Patreon, Madge Madigan. But when I got a little bit extra, back in the day and back in the beginning of this, I bought some stocks. I'm like, might as well. I've never bought stocks in my life. I don't have a retirement. That's what happens when you're a self-employed person, an often unemployed self-employed person who is raising 3 kids.
Yeah.
Not everyone's so fortunate. Like I saw so many people, during the election or right after, there's my 401k. Bitch, at least you got one. Okay. So just think about that for a minute. So anyway, I bought, what I bought back in March? I bought Zoom stock.
You did?
I wish I had any sort of decent amount of money. Because I would have a lot of money right now, but like $100 doesn't give you much. But
yeah, I know.
It was a start.
Hey, but that's still good.
Yeah, I was very proud of myself because like nobody suggested anything to me. It was just like, because I had already started using Zoom before that. Now all of a sudden everybody was like, Zoom meeting.
I know. I started using Zoom when I opened up the studio in 2018, and then it was kind of like, oh, do we use Skype or Zoom? And I'm like, ooh, Zoom's much better. Let's use Zoom. And then COVID hit, and it was like, oh, everybody is talking about Zoom.
Right.
And you were smart enough to buy stock.
I was.
Gol darny.
And now, gol darny. Gosh darn it all. So yeah, I wish I had had more, but you know what? It was something I needed to do to, what the fuck? My friend Amy White, who had been on the program before,
Yes.
she's incredible. Go check her out, amywhite.co. She has a saying that your car, when you're driving a car, your car goes where your eyes go. So, and it's true. If you start looking off to, the side, your car starts going this way. So I thought, well, I'm going to take this opportunity while I have some extra shekels and start trying to build something for myself. I didn't think it was going to go on ad infinitum, but here we are, and it's going to go right. I'm going there. I'm going to be rich and famous, and I just want to have, I want to pay my bills. My God, this is getting really sad. Okay, so this turned into some strange sort of psychotherapy session. Oh, shit. Scratch that.
Anyway, Madge, please tell me about your childhood.
Well, you know what? I actually had a good childhood. Anyway, so, got anything to say? I think that's a good place to call it a day this week.
Thanks for letting me come on and rap with you for a little while. It was fun.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate it. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy rapping. I don't know where that came from.
Cut that out,
You,
too.
yeah.
Just
Blooper reel, patreon.com, Magic.
if you'd like to see more of these bloopers and outtakes.
Or these bloopers. No, I'm sorry. I'm not. There's a TikTok. And by the way, I'm on TikTok, Madge Madigan. There's a TikTok that, you there's certain audio that people can use over and over and over.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the fun of it, to see what somebody does with this audio. And there's this one that it's that song, Every Day is a Roller Coaster. And the beginning of it starts out as sort of thing. Well, the funny thing was, guys would turn around and, like, they were getting out of the shower and they had they were holding up a towel to block, and apparently they were nude in front, and they were swinging back and forth like this, and the sound was supposed to be like their junk hitting their thighs, like they're so well endowed. So then I laughed hard, because then I saw some women like my age starting to do it, but like, and I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Anyway,
I started. I was seeing a lot of videos about a beaver.
Nice beaver. What movie is that from?
Naked Gun.
Yes, thank you. So
Just
what about a
had
beaver?
stuff. Some woman was rehabbing a baby beaver.
Oh.
And it was just this beaver living in their house, and the beaver would make dams like at the base of the stairs and shit.
Saw
And it kept grabbing the rug and bringing the rug over, and she's raising this beaver. She takes it out in the back and lets it go into the pond and teaches it how to chew wood and stuff. It's pretty wild.
That's cute.
Yeah, and they make these noises like. He's like,
I don't like that.
Petting the beaver, and then this one scene.
Is that the sound the Nagas make? Go back to last episode.
That was
where
also
they get Naga hide from.
That was also
herd of Nagas.
The other episode that had a Silence of the Lambs reference.
What did we say in that one?
Have the Nagas stop screaming, Clarice. And on that note,
I want to thank my guest and producer, Fitz, Scott Fitzgerald.
Thank you.
From Rockbox Studios. And as always, I am your hostess with the mostess, Madge Madigan. Look me up on Patreon, TikTok, any other social media, whatever. So until next time, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one. Pew, 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 pew.